in order to basically rescue Enya. In addition to the additional COVID loans that we have. Prime Minister, how do you see St. Martin getting out of this debt cycle?
Indeed, the conditions that have been put forward for the loans, let me reiterate again, there is correspondence to corroborate what I'm saying, so I'm not just talking off the cuff. St. Martin pushed from the beginning to move along the lines of what had been presented back when we signed the 2020 loans. It was never written, but it was a discussion that was had. It was also presented by the then State Secretary to the Second Chamber that should St. Martin or the other countries be working along positively with the reforms, that would then bring us into recognition for decrease in amount of loans, etc., what is to be repaid, etc. However, the sitting government does not have a mandate to carry out that discussion that had been made for us, a promise made. And at the end of the day, we were given the framework under which the financing would be extended. The reality of it is that the loans become due on 10 of October 2010. Imagine that, on Constitution Day. 2023. Sorry. They were extended by 1 year and 1 year after 2020. So 2021 and 2022, they were extended by a year for these discussions to happen. And it's unfortunate that they were not, as MP George Pontiflet always says, that they were not just wiped off. Because for us as St. Martin, they were given in the midst of a hurricane. Of the pandemic. It was COVID pandemic relief. It is same as hurricane relief. We also have loans from them as well. So as a small island developing state, the IMF has also stated that we should not be continuously burdened with debt if we're expected to develop. We put forth our investment plans. We did all our due diligence, and I want to thank all of the hardworking committee members in the finance ministry, as well as others who have contributed to the reports that we submitted as part of the discussions and negotiations with our Dutch Kingdom partners. And St. Martin did its due diligence, and as a result, now we're being presented with an option to only pay interest for X amount of years, which will leave some funds free for investment. And after a certain amount of time, we will then have to pay a lump sum. So that still is, a large burden for the countries. And we're hoping that in the time during then, or when we sign off on that, and the time that we have, that we will be able to continue to renegotiate as we work towards the achievement of the reforms, the needed reforms that we have identified, that we have embedded in our national vision, and we are committed to execute. So investment is needed for that, and so we are looking forward to the best conditions to be able to do that. We do have some room within our debt ceiling to be able to do capital expenditures and and we are continuously looking for other means of funding, which is available to the SIDS. The Dutch government has also pledged other development aid, and so we will make use of every opportunity. But even if funds are all over the place, if we don't do our due diligence and prepare the projects and prepare the different policies and legislation, the money cannot be used. So we have to do our part, express our needs clearly, and find the funding that is available out there.
A macroeconomic calculation by the Central Bank of Curaçao and St. Martin showed that St. Martin's government finances will remain very vulnerable the coming years. And that it cannot, listen to that, and that it cannot carry the full burden of an annuity loan for 20 years. The refinancing terms depend on the signing of an accord about a financial solution for Enya's life insurance and pension branch, Enya Caribe, Levin, Envy, considering the major socio-economic consequences for the budget of Curacao and St. Martin. If no solution is found and ANIA has to cut the pension payments, negotiation terms of the CBCS, the Netherlands, Curacao and St. Martin have reached an accord whereby the Dutch government, listen to this good St. Martin people, the Dutch government own Curacao and St. Martin 600 million euros with a 20-year term for 3.1%, which the two Dutch Caribbean countries will supply to ANIA as a capital injection. The ANIA Accord still needs to be signed by the three governments and the CBCS. If the St. Martin government does not sign the accord, the repayment terms of the COVID-19 pandemic loans will be shortened to 1 year and the interest rate will be increased. That is blackmail. That is blackmail. Fernando, that is blackmail. Because one has nothing to do with the other. Okay. With a signed accord, the Dutch government will offer St. Martin an interest rate of 3.1%, which is much lower than the interest rate on the international capital market. Having to repay 316.4 million through the refinancing on the international capital market means that St. Martin will have to pay a considerable interest. It is not even whether the international capital market would want to absorb the amount of this magnitude. It was stated in the assessment framework document. Also, it should be taken into account that St. Martin government finances are now in a less advantageous position than before the COVID-19 pandemic. We're going to stop there. Now let me break it down for the people of St. Martin. Yeah. The people of St. Martin is forced to bail out a billionaire. And the people of St. Martin will have to pay for it. What am I saying? ANIA is owned by the Palmer Group, by Ansari Hussain. Ansari went into ANIA and took out over $300 million. Okay? How did he do that? Under the watchful eyes of the central bank. Under the watchful eyes of the central bank. Inflated the appraisal report of Monterey property. Inflated the appraisal report of Monterey property and went and take out money and used the Monterey property as collateral under the watchful eyes of the central bank. Now, the people of St. Martin and Curacao, by means of the government, is forced, and hear what I'm saying, forced by the Dutch government to take a loan in the tune of 600 million euros. Now, if we stretch that out to 20 years or 30 years at the rate of 3.1%, taking the insurance holders on St. Martin, which is about 3,000, you are talking about paying
when the voter registry will be closed so that we can be sure that it will indeed be 15 seats that the electorate will be voting for. And as of right now, how many eligible voters do we have?
There are many other dates that still have to be published. I know that, the public was clamoring, as well as the media, for the election dates. And so we, in this presentation, only put forth those dates, but in the coming days and weeks, we will put out more information as to all the other dates in different forms so that it reaches a wide audience. So you can look forward to that. And as per my last update, we are still at the 15 seats based on the amount of people. I don't remember the amount off the top of my head, but we did not achieve the number, and it is not expected that that will happen based on the trends. So we remain at 15 seats for now, and if that changes, then we will be updating the general public in a transparent manner.
Hurricane Idalia made landfall in Tallahassee, and we have quite a number of students in Tallahassee. Can you indicate what mechanisms are in place to assist our students if that becomes necessary following this very powerful Category 3 storm?
As it relates to the hurricane that is currently hitting the southern part of the United States, I understand it's been downgraded now to a Cat 2. There are mechanisms for communication in place. We do have the Tallahassee Foundation. I can't remember off the top of my head, but there is a foundation that has existed for many years, the St. Martin Tallahassee Foundation, that has contact with our students, and they look out for our students and report back to the Study Financing Division, and we're updated. There, of course, government provides medical insurance for them, and if the need arises for them to evacuate, then we assist in whichever way necessary. So I don't have the direct contact, but I will have the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth and Sport via its division Study Financing put out a statement on this to reassure parents, etc., as to what would be done or is being done.
Mealtime rules. Don't serve yourself first. Do not eat with your mouth open. Don't rest your elbows on the table. Don't make noise when eating. Does not apply when enjoying KFC buckets. When we bucket together, we are as we really are.
Your social and health insurance is your social and health insurances.
Are you SXM insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXM is cardless. Request your My SXM account today and enter the virtual office of SXM. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
SXM, yeah. Your social and health insurances.
During the hurricane season, a potential tropical cyclone can produce rainfall that can cause flash flooding and rockfalls. Stay away from flood-prone areas during heavy rainfall, such as Jump Up Casino on Emma Plain Road in Phillipsburg, ATLH Road Roundabout, L.B. Scott Road from Emilio Wilson Park until Cake House Supermarket, Zaker's Gut from Petro Plus gas station until the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Welcalaken Road K Hill from Welcalaken Road Roundabout until the One Tete Loke Roundabout, Beacon Hill Road from Sunset Bar and Grill until the beginning of White Sands Road, and Rhine Road, also known as Mullet Bay Road, after Sonesto Maho Beach Hotel to the entrance of Cooper Coy from the intersection of the University Drive until the intersection of Rio Grande. For more information on how you can keep yourself and your family safe this hurricane season, visit stmartingolf.org/hurricane. This public service announcement is brought to you by the government of St. Martin.
SXM Daily News is speaking to our Creation St. Martin Arts and Crafts Foundation members. And we're going to find out right now exactly what they've been busy with.
Good morning, good afternoon to each and every one. We are from Our Creations, as you said, and we have been producing Teta Frock right here on the island. Our Teta Frock are produced right here, and they are painted by different persons on the island. The story behind Teta is that long ago, certain children weren't able to pronounce the word sister. So they would then call their sister Teta. And Teta was a name that stuck. So this is our Teta, and our Teta wears her frock. You know that long ago, dresses were called frocks. So our Teta has on her frock, and the seamstresses long ago used to save the scraps, and from the scraps they used to make patchwork frocks and other things also. So this is our Teta frock, and she is sporting a beautiful patchwork floral outfit. And they are painted by all different persons on the island. At the moment, we have a group of ladies who come to see us on Wednesdays. They're from the Helping Hands Outreach, and they paint as well. So it's very, very interesting to see everyone using their creativity. Also, we invite the public, we invite the community to come out, form a group, and come and paint your own Teta. Come and paint your own Teta, have fun with us under the gazebo, and we welcome you. Also, at our Creations Arts and Crafts home, we have our store where we sell all handmade arts and crafts. Everything is made locally, and we are the home for all your St. Martin cultural wear.
Talk to us about the different sizes.
Yes, we started out with just 5-inch, and now we also have the 6-inch that we make completely from scratch.
Where can we find these sculptures?
You can find them at our Creations Arts and Crafts home on the Union Road number 43, Coal Bay. We're right next to the Chinese restaurant opposite the old Charles Leopold Bell School. Right there is where you can find us, and you can't miss us because within short, we will have a beautiful mural on our wall.
Also speaking to Miss Evita Arundel, and we're going to talk about her cultural wear. Talk to us about the cultural wear that is available here.
Okay, we have the cultural wear that we bring in, and you know our culture is the flowers. And we order the cloth, and then we bring them in, and then we make this. People like different styles, so we will accommodate any style anybody wants. But we also at our store have our style, so you can come in there anytime and get a cultural wear.
Talk to us about St. Martin's Day. Is the foundation doing anything special for St. Martin's Day?
Yes, we are assisting a lot of schools and also different organizations. We're getting them ready for the cultural parade.
Okay.
I'll delve right into the questions posed. I'll start with questions posed by MP Gums. Is there a concrete way to protect public beaches? Share if both ministries have begun discussing on this topic. Currently within the Ministry of Rummy, the protection of our beaches are regulated through the Rummy Beach Policy. This provides regulations of minimum setbacks for high water line. In addition, further prevents developments from physically having a negative influence on the recreative use of the beach by ensuring that all beaches must have a usable and easily accessible for residents as well as visitors. Construction on the beach are also prohibited through the Building Ordinance Article 22, which entails the denial for grounds of a building permit. In paragraph 2 and 5 are of importance here. Paragraph 5 of the building, of part of the building will, due to its location or the construction method, disfigure or the environment or a nuisance or fire hazard for the environment. In paragraph 2, a permit can be denied if in connection with construction method used, the building cannot be considered to have such a solidity that does not endanger the lives of the residents or users or the environment. A decision to grant a conditional building permit to or refuse in its whole shall always state the reasons on which it's based and may only be based on one or more of the following circumstances. If the beach is known to be a sea turtle nesting beach, then this is taken into consideration when evaluating the development. Sea turtles are protected species in accordance with the Landsverordening Grondslagen, Natuurbeheer en Bescherming, Article 8A and Article 11. Therefore, requirements for the protection of sea turtles are included in building permits on beaches known for sea turtle nesting. Rental agreements also specify that any developments cannot be of permanent nature and that a daily fines can be applied if the terms of the rental agreements are denied. I'm specifically talking about rental agreements that are granted by the Ministry of Environment. How much do the establishments on the beach pay for the usage, and when last were the fees revisited? For vendor 1, they pay 12,000 guilders a year. Vendor 2, 7,200 guilders. Vendor 3 also pays 7,200 guilders. And the fourth vendor currently now pays 6,000 guilders. The fees mentioned has not been revised since the issuance of the above rental agreements. Next question posed. Are the establishments in compliance with what is in the agreement and what has been allotted to them, and how many square meters are they allowed to use? The Ministry of Environment is currently not aware of any sort of violations within the issued rental agreements on Mulberry Beach. A site location map with sizes of the area and square meters was also previously provided to Parliament. However, I'll just delve back into it. Vendor 1 has 1,000 square meters. The second vendor has 600 square meters, the third also 600, and the fourth vendor has 500 square meters. I move on to question posed by MP Westcott Williams, through you, Madam Chair Lady. How do both ministries view the stipulations and the requirements of the policies? The Ministry of Environment applies all relevant policies when assessing new requests for land or building permits. In connection with the management agreement signed with the government and the Nature Foundation, is it not required to have the Nature Foundation consulted first? Based on the SLA with the Nature Foundation, VROMI can request the foundation to carry out rapid terrestrial and marine assessments when new developments are being proposed. The SLA does not mention that prior to any development, consultation with the Nature Foundation is required. However, when there are concerns about effects of certain developments on the nature and environment, the ministry always requests rapid assessments from St. Martin Nature Foundation prior to decision making. Have the petitions been responded to? The ministry responded to Parliament on the petition that was sent. I move on to questions posed by MP Duncan. What is the government's philosophy on the protection of beaches? Are there any joint working groups? No, there are not any joint working groups working on it, but the policies do align with what I mentioned prior. Are there any policies of the both ministries aligned? Are the policies of the both ministries aligned? The recent updated beach and vending policy that is currently taking place by TIAT will be aligned with the VROMI beach policy, and the Nature Foundation were also parts of the review process in the vending policy. As I mentioned, this is still ongoing and is currently being finalized. We do meet on a regular basis. We have had 3 consultation meetings for this year thus far, and we are working and doing our best to make sure that both ministries align when it comes to this subject matter and other subject matters as well.
SXM Daily News is speaking to our Creation St. Martin Arts and Crafts Foundation members. And we're going to find out right now exactly what they've been busy with.
Good morning, good afternoon to each and every one. We are from Our Creations, as you said, and we have been producing Tita Frock right here on the island. Our Tita Frock are produced right here, and they are painted by different persons on the island. The story behind Teta is that long ago, certain children weren't able to pronounce the word sister. So they would then call their sister Teta. And Teta was a name that stuck. So this is our Teta, and our Teta wears her frock. You know that long ago, dresses were called frocks. So our Teta has on her frock, and the seamstresses long ago used to save the scraps, and from the scraps they used to make patchwork frocks and other things also. So this is our Teta frock, and she is sporting a beautiful patchwork floral outfit. And they are painted by all different persons on the island. At the moment, we have a group of ladies who come to see us on Wednesdays. They're from the Helping Hands Outreach, and they paint as well. So it's very, very interesting to see everyone using their creativity. Also, we invite the public, we invite the community to come out, form a group, and come and paint your own Teta. Come and paint your own Teta, have fun with us under the gazebo, and we welcome you. Also, at our Creations Arts and Crafts home, we have our store where we sell all handmade arts and crafts. Everything is made locally, and we are the home for all your St. Martin cultural wear.
Talk to us about the different sizes.
Yes, we started out with just 5-inch, and now we also have the 6-inch that we make completely from scratch.
Where can we find these sculptures?
You can find them at our Creations Arts and Crafts home on the Union Road, number 43, Cold Bay. We're right next to the Chinese restaurant opposite the old Charles Leopold Bell School. Right there is where you can find us, and you can't miss us because within short, we will have a beautiful mural on our wall.
Also speaking to Miss Evita Arundel, and we're going to talk about her cultural wear. Talk to us about the cultural wear that is available here.
Okay, we have the cultural wear that we bring in, and you know our culture is the flowers. And we order the cloth, and then we bring them in, and then we make this. People like different styles, so we will accommodate any style anybody wants. But we also at our store have our style, so you can come in there anytime and get a cultural wear.
Talk to us about St. Martin's Day. Is the foundation doing anything special for St. Martin's Day?
Yes, we are assisting a lot of schools and also different organizations with getting them ready for the cultural parade.
Okay.
Are you SXV insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXV is cardless. Request your My SXV account today and enter the virtual office of SXV. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
SXV, yeah. Your social health insurances.
With you, the new Kentaco. A combination that will surprise the most curious palates. Combining the deliciousness of KFC chicken and the practicality of a taco. With a doubly delicious ergonomic shape. Wow! Compatible with all types of bites. New Kentaco. Enjoy a double breaded chicken breast with our secret recipe. Cheese, lettuce, and tomato. New Kentucky, the innovation that's in everyone's mouth.
It's hurricane season. Are you prepared? Here are a few tips to keep in mind to help keep you and your family safe. The Atlantic hurricane season runs from June 1st to November 30th, with the peak occurring between mid-August and late October. This hurricane season, be sure to put together a go bag. A disaster supply kit including a flashlight, batteries, cash, first aid and supplies, medications, and copies of your critical information if you need to evacuate. This public service announcement was brought to you by the government of St. Martin.
One of the things that I would always tell people is when a permanent secretary from one of the ministries, which we were attached to at one stage, telling us that fisheries is treated as a bastard child, right, in connection with things, right, we need to get away from that situation. So, you know, Barbados uses a lot of fish, right? Unfortunately, we don't have the supply here. The flying fish, which used to run for 8 months of the year, only basically runs for 1 month in total. The mai dolphin, whatever you want to call it, is there. We still push that, but a lot of the fish, the marlin, billfish, and all other types of fish normally is imported.
This is Emancipation Park in Kingston, the capital of Jamaica. And that statue there behind me is a tribute to the hundreds of thousands of people stolen from Africa and enslaved on this island for centuries under British rule. So as preparations for the coronation are going on in London, this country is getting ready to ditch the monarchy. The government here planning to hold a referendum with the goal of becoming a republic and removing Charles as head of state by 2025. And it's the painful legacy of slavery that's driving that movement. We've been here for several days talking to lots of people who've told us that removing Charles as head of state is important for Jamaica's future and its identity. We talked to a group of students on their last day of high school getting ready to be this country's future, and this is what they told us.
It further pushes Eurocentric ideals because I feel like we'd like to have our own Caribbean identity, and I feel like the presence of a monarchy really impedes that.
Are we really emancipated if we still have a head of government, a monarchy which is honestly archaic in nature?
It's not just about cutting ties and removing Charles as head of state. There's also a demand here for an official apology from the royal family, which was linked to the slave trade from the very beginning, and for there to be reparations for all the suffering inflicted on this island and for the immeasurable wealth that was taken from it.
We plan to petition the king and to seek reparations through that petition, because as the Queen and now the King's subjects, we suffered injustices, and they were responsible for us.
Jamaica is not the only country having this conversation. Barbados removed the monarch as head of state in 2021, and several other Caribbean countries are contemplating this move as well. A reckoning for the brutality of British colonialism in this region as Charles's coronation looms. Ellen Morrow, CBC News, Kingston, Jamaica.